Tonight, I'm joined by none other than Mr. Ranveer Singh. He mastered the craft of vehicle wrapping and launched Big Boy Wraps, a business that brings creativity and precision to car design. Soon after, he founded Big Boy Creations, a music production company that celebrates talent and culture as well. Mentoring newcomers and creating space for others to grow. His journey is proof that success is not about perfect timing. It's about taking the leap and believing in your vision. With skills, passion, and hard work, you can achieve your dreams no matter where you are in the world. You came to Canada from India at the age of 18 in the year 2019 as an international student at Cameron College to study Automotive Technology. Why Canada? Why Sudbury?
Canada, I wanted to move, like to study, learn. So I've already decided Canada. But if you say Sudbury, I didn't want it to go to a busy place. I'm already from a big city. So like in my province, it's a really big city. Busy, very busy. So mostly like students go to Toronto, Vancouver. So I didn't want to go somewhere that's busy.
All right, good evening and welcome back to Beyond the Borders with Urgent Season 2 on CKLU 96.7 FM, streaming live at cklu.ca on the Radio Player Canada app and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts through TuneIn to Urgent and on other different social media platforms. Thank you so much for listening and watching at the same time. Tonight, I'm joined by none other than Mr. Ranveer Singh, an entrepreneur who proves that with skills, passion, and hard work, you can achieve your dreams no matter where you are in the world. Ranbir came to Canada in 2019 as an 18-year-old international student at Cameron College studying automotive technology. Like many newcomers, he worked part-time jobs, numerous part-time jobs, even stepping into a role as assistant manager at Tim Hortons. But behind the long hours was a bigger dream, to build something of his own. And, in 2025, he turned that dream into reality. He mastered the craft of vehicle wrapping and launched Big Boy Wraps, a business that brings creativity and precision to car design. Soon after, he founded Big Boy Creations, a music production company that celebrates talent and culture as well. Ranbir is more than a businessman, more than an entrepreneur. He's a community builder supporting local events, concerts, and a cultural program as well. And he's one of our, genuine supporters of Beyond the Borders Season 2 as well. Well, mentoring newcomers and creating space for others to grow. His journey is proof that success is not about perfect timing. It's about taking the leap and believing in your vision. All right. If you want to listen to his wonderful journey, you have to stay tuned and stick around, and we're gonna be definitely right back. That is, give me the green light because I am ready to go and I'm all set to go and all ready to invite my guest for tonight. And This is Beyond the Borders Season 2 on CKLU 96.7, your station. And today I am with none other than, I already mentioned, Mr. Ranveer Singh, entrepreneur and the founder of Big Boy Raps and Big Boy Creations. And I already mentioned Ranveer's journey is a powerful reminder that success does not come from waiting for the perfect moment, but from creating with hard work, skills, and passion. From young students with a dream to a business owner and a community builder, please welcome Ranveer Singh, entrepreneur, the founder of Big Boy Raps and Big Boy Creation. Welcome to the show, Ranveerji.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me today as your guest. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the.
I really, really appreciate your time and effort to come over here and then sharing your journey. Thank you so much. Let's start with a fun question. Your name is Ranveer Singh, and there is a famous Indian actor in India, Ranveer Singh. Though the spelling is different, Ranveer Singh, which is admired worldwide, not only in Asian countries, worldwide. Did you ever feel inspired by him growing up, and has sharing a similar name ever affected how people see you here in Canada?
Yes, you can say that. It's actually same spelling too. It's
Okay.
same spelling. Yeah, uh it is very unique name. Like it, Ranveer means uh the king of the battlefield. So that's what it means. So it is actually unique.
Okay. So I'm in conversation with the king of the battlefield.
Yeah.
Of course, let's dive into. I'm gonna take you to year 19. You came to Canada from India at the age of 18 in the year 2019 as an international student at Cameron College to study automotive technology. Why Canada? Why Sudbury?
Canada, I wanted to move, like to study, learn. So I've already decided Canada. But if you say Sudbury, I didn't want it to go to a busy place. I'm already from a big city. So like in my province, it's a really big city, busy, very busy. So mostly like students go to Toronto, Vancouver. So I didn't want to go somewhere that's busy. This is uh, I like it peaceful. It's so I don't like it. It's nice when you go for outing. Nice food. Everything's available. But in Sudbury, it's a more like it's very people are very polite. I love the nature here. Not very crowded. So that's why I chose Sudbury.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. And what was that transitions like for you, and what challenges you faced?
You can say as at 18 years you're very young, so you're not able to make mature decisions. I was very mature as according to my age, but you can still say it is very young to leave your home, come that far.
Exactly.
So but this journey I have learned so many things. It was very good. I i have faced troubles, so but it was at the end it was a very nice journey.
If you have to remember any struggle or any challenges that you still remember, that you still feel, anything?
Struggle working at the starting. I have never worked before, like I just moved after high school.
You never worked back home.
No, I think I wouldn't have until like 23 or 24. We have a culture that our fathers pay for like everything. So if I have been in college there, my father would have paid for everything. I wouldn't, maybe till date I wouldn't be working. So moving here, working double shifts, more hours. So it everything. This is physically it's not tiring. Mentally it is. At 18 years of age, you miss your parents. You miss your friends. in A new country, no friends. So so many.
So, how was this journey so far as a whole, if you have to say like 2019 till 2025?
So far, very good. So because if you work hard, Canada has given me everything. I worked hard. I have a social circle, so many friends. So I made everything I had back home. So like a good social circle, so many friends. At like totally a family. I have at least 20 people I can count as my family. So
Wow,
yeah, so like
that's
very close.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So it's
So like many newcomers, immigrants, we have to work part-time jobs. We have to work cash jobs, even many different jobs. So in your case, like many newcomers, you work part-time jobs, even becoming an assistant manager at Tim Hortons. Can you please share your experience? Like, let's talk about your first job and your first pay. How was it? How was the experience?
my first job was at Tim Hortons. So I never left Tim Hortons, but I did many part-time jobs. So I started there as a crew member while I was in school. So I could only work 20 hours
20
as
hours.
per the law. So for the first 8 months, like 2 semesters, I was only working 20 hours. So which wasn't that bad. Like working 20 hours a week and studying, it's normal.
Mm.
I didn't had a very hard time. Then in the drop, like official break, I could work full time. That was when I felt it hard because I worked like let's say 16 hours a day
Yeah.
and for 4 months.
How was the
I
pay? How was the pay? If you are comfortable, you can share.
the
In
pay
2019.
I think somewhere around, if I'm not wrong, 1550, if I'm not wrong. I'm very bad at remembering things, but I think it was 1550.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, how did those experience shape your mindset as an entrepreneur today?
That's a good question. That's when I actually figured out like working so many hours. I was working two jobs and drop. So working so many hours gets you exhausted. You didn't even make for a minimum wage job. Even you work two jobs, what maybe 3,000, 3,500. That's what you're gonna make.
Yeah.
That's when I thought like working so many hours that it's not gonna be helpful for the growth. So then I had no chance at that time because I had 1 year of school left. After I saved for my fees and those in the drop. So after that, I went to school again. But it did hit me at that time that I will have to start a business in future.
All right, beautiful. So, working part-time jobs and managing responsibilities as a newcomer is one thing, but running your own business is a whole different challenge. I would love to hear your perspective on that. Like, you experience both sides,
Yeah.
working jobs to support yourself as a newcomer, and now running your own business. From your perspective, what are the biggest differences between having a job and building a business? And what made you decide that entrepreneurship was the right path for you?
First thing,
Let's talk about the differences.
okay, yeah, different. Like first thing you can talk about is you know independence. You can.
Mm,
It's up to you when you're gonna work.
okay.
So like up when you're gonna schedule.
You have your own schedule.
Yeah, I have my own schedule. It's up to me when I'm gonna start work, when I'm gonna end work.
Right.
It's not like I have to work 9 to 5.
Okay.
So first thing you'll get out of that 9 to 5 cycle.
Mm,
So that's the best part. And financially, the money you make in a month in at a job, you're gonna make it sometimes in a day.
mhm.
No, there is low phases in the business too. You'll be in loss, but there is a chance. In jobs, you can only grow up to some extent. Like you'll get a raise, a little bit raise every year. That's all you get.
Yeah.
For business, it's up to you. The more harder you work for it, the more it's gonna grow. So it's like money wise, time wise, every everywhere there is an independence, but you can grow as what efforts do you put in that business, that's what gonna get it to grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was about to come to that question. It's like, what made you decide later on that entrepreneurship path was the right path? You said like independence when it comes to money, when it comes to your own time, your family time, and everything. So, if you have to be very specific, why did you choose this entrepreneurship path?
Being very specific, when I came on work permit, I was working for at least like a year. I worked like 90 hours a week, two jobs. So I was working both jobs full time and overtime. I I did made like, you can say, 4,000, 5,000 a month. So which was more than enough at that time.
Right.
But then my uh, second job, like they closed the position.
Okay.
So, and then I was only left with Tim Hortons. Then I got dropped from making 4,500 or 5,000 a month to like 2,200 or something, right? 24, somewhere around that. So now my expenses were according to 5,000, right? So that's when I felt like this is hard. Then I, started using credit cards. So I, applied for so many credit cards. Let's say I have 15,000. I had 15,000 in credit cards. I used all of them.
Wow.
And now I'm stuck. I'm making 2,200 a month. How am I going to pay for them? Never. You won't save any money to pay those debt. You can't, because 2,200 is bare minimum to survive. That's like minimum wage. So that's when it hit me, like if I have to do something, like I have to start a business, doesn't matter, I have the income source, like I have to do it somehow. So that was when I decided.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, I have this question in my mind when I met you before the show off air when we had the conversation. You work at Tim Hortons for several years, starting from an entry level position and eventually becoming assistant manager. But when you started your own business, you didn't go into a cafe or franchise. Instead, you built something completely different with Big Boy Wraps. Can you share what motivated that decision and why you chose a path so different from your work experience and studies?
So actually, like if I talk about Tim Hortons, I learned everything from there. Let's say I was running that store. I had a general manager over me, but still I knew how everything works, like 100%. So if I have to buy a Tim Hortons, I have to run a Tim Hortons, I can run it 100%. There's no doubt. But the thing is, for buying a Tim Hortons, you'll need, I think, at least, you know, 2 million, $2 million.
On today's context.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they won't allow a new person in already running location. They'll give you some new location in the woods or like 400 kilometers from your city, somewhere around that. I have examples of them. My uncle applied for it. So they'll ask you to go somewhere that's a new store, small store, less business, less money. So why would you spend that much money to make less profit, right? So Tim Hortons is basically, if it's running good, it's running good, but it's a big setup. You do If I have $2 million in my account, I would definitely open something that's gonna make me more money, because you need that $2 million back in your pocket that you invested.
Right.
So initially, for as a newcomer, if you don't have money, I'll start with something that's skilled. I don't have to invest so much money. So that's why I didn't go there. Even in future, if I want to, I can still, all the qualities of running a business, managing a business, that's where I learned from.
You never ever thought of opening a cafe like Tim Hortons kind of cafe shop because you have a lot of experience.
Yeah, cafe again, if you do a small setup cafe, you'll still invest a good amount of money. And I don't think there's that much profit. There's, you know, selling a coffee at Tim Hortons makes you sense. So I thought of something that's gonna make me. I sell labor, like I that's what I we do, right? So we do labor. That's totally labor work. We don't sell any products. So right now I chose that's gonna make me more money than a cafe, because it you know again, one good thing, if somebody is listening to be an entrepreneur, right? So one good suggestion, if you have a good hold in your community, you have good friends, you don't have to pay for that franchise. Why would I pay for a franchise fees if the whole community or people in Sudbury are gonna come to me because they're my friends? The first customers you're gonna have in your business are your friends, friends of friends. So that's you don't need a big name then. Just be nice with people, make more friends, have a good friend circle. They're gonna support you. So
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's come to the making decision thing. Making big decision isn't always easy, especially when you are far from home. And I understand your dad plays a key role when it comes to making a decision. As per our conversation offline, I have heard that whenever you face doubts or big decisions need to be made, you call your dad back home in India and follow his advice. Can you share how his guidance has shaped the way you run your business and approach, challenges in your life?
I'll start from when I was young. So it's for the youngsters. So everybody in the teenage thinks that sharing something with your parents is not very cool. Like your friends will say you're dumb.
Mm.
I was in the same boat. I used to think when I was a kid, but as you grow up, you'll know that the best advices comes from your parents. Not everybody have that opportunity, depends on how well educated your parents are.
Right.
That's that part too. But talking about my parents, my dad, he's very intelligent. So any time I need an advice, I'll go to him. So anytime I'm stuck in life till date, I'll call him and I will get the best solutions ever. So that's what I that's what advice I give you to the youngsters or newcomers. Don't be afraid to talk to your parents, or you know anybody experienced, you know who has a more experience than you, more educated than you, which according to me is my dad.
Right.
So I'll always call him if I'm stuck. So now I know that the best advice I'll ever get is from my dad. He supports me every time, you know even in the business. I need, let's say I'm stuck, I'm in debt or something. I won't always ask for help with the money. He will, though, like he always does. He if I need it. But just these words that I'm here from your dad are enough. He that's what he never says no. I don't know how many new business ideas I have talked to him. So I have never heard a no. He'll always say, let's go, rock it. So that's he's very supportive. Same with my mom. She's very supportive too.
Okay.
More like emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to say to your dad or mom if they are listening to us right now?
They'll be listening. So I'll say, I would have never said to their face, but I'll say I love you guys and I miss you here. It's been so many years.
Yeah.
So I was a kid when I left home. So uh, now they say too that you're very mature now. But I'm still a little kid to them. I'll always call them, and you know, I would never say, I don't think I have said it to their face that I miss them or I love them. So I love you guys. I miss you. Thanks.
Eh,
Thanks for being there for me every time I need help. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. With that, we're gonna play one of your favorite song.
Thank you.
And I heard that was written by you.
Yeah.
You are the lyricist, and you guys, your Big Boy creation made it. So you want to say anything about that song, or you want to dedicate to anybody?
Sure. I am a lyricist too. That that song, when we started the idea of making that song, my friend's a really good singer who sung it. So we wanted to do something, a project, right? But we didn't want to upload it to some strange channel. So that's why we made our own production. So I wrote the song. We did music, we did video, all in Sudbury. So that's basically on friends. So the meaning that the song says is uh, we have never left any friend unless or until he had backstabbed us or shows his real colors. So basically, we'll keep our all friends with us until they show us their real colors. So you listen to it.
All right, welcome back. You are still tuned in to CKLU 96.7, and this is Beyond the Borders with Arjun Season 2. I am in conversation with the founder of Big Boy Raps and Big Boy Creation. Ranveer ji, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk about skills. You often say, that skills matter more than perfect timing or perfect moment, or you should have enough money or something like that. Can you explain what do you mean by that and how it influenced your decision to start a business?
So, talking about skills, if you have any skill, you're a mechanic, you're a plumber, or you're HVAC technician, anything, carpenter. So I would say if you're going into a business, you have, less investment, or you're a newcomer. Learn a skill, sell a skill. Don't invest thousands of dollars. People would buy inventory of 100,000 and they'll be stuck with it. Sometimes they borrow the money, they took a loan, and they buy something, they buy a store, and now they're selling nothing. You know, so selling a skill, you just need tools. Start from a small setup. I started at my house, like home garage. I just bought my tools. I learned the skill. I left the city. I went to Oakville. I learned this as a course. I paid for it. So after that, I started from home. I bought all the tools. As I said, when I started, I was already in debt. So more debt. But, same thing when you're young, you don't have so many responsibilities. You can take that risk. That is the age, early 20s. That is your age to take that risk. But take it on something, skilled. You learn a skill, you sell a skill, you don't get your money stuck at, any some random inventory or, uh, some chains. So, you know, spending so much money on goodwills. So I won't suggest that to if you don't have the money. So
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. So Ranviji, if I'm not wrong, you are the first immigrant to start a vehicle wrapping business in Sudbury and in Northern Ontario.
Yes, I am the first immigrant in Northern Ontario. In Sudbury, there's only 3 shops other than us.
Well,
So
congratulations on that.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, you started in March 2024.
Yeah.
And which is doing amazing in Sudbury. And can you tell us how you came up with the idea for Big Boy Raps and what it took to get it started, and from investment and then procedure to setting up, and what the business looks like today, or for anyone who are listening to us who wants to start something similar, and along with that you can give some advice as well.
So I chose a business that wasn't very crowded. Let's say there's so many businesses about construction or etc. Just as an example, I wanted to do something unique. This is the business that's new, or new in Sudbury, you can say. If we talk about Toronto, we talk about New York, we talk about Dubai, this is very popular.
Okay.
So I had interest. As I said, I studied automotive, as but I wanted to be a mechanic initially. I I still work on my cars though. So initially I wanted to be a mechanic, but then I changed my mind. I wanted to go in some in automotive, but something else. So these we do more than wraps. We do paint corrections, ceramic coatings.
Okay.
More cosmetic work about the paint,
Mm.
cars paint, or modifications. You know, I still want to grow. I want to go to body kits. Body paints, all that.
Okay.
But talking about wraps, I was always interested in it. So we have all heard, make your passion your profession. You're gonna enjoy it lifetime. So that's what was my passion. So I exactly did what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn that. I started a business on that. I started, from a small budget, small setup. It went good. You know, once you're busy, you have to grow with that. You know, uh, once you're a busy shop, people wants insurance. Your shop has insurance. Nobody working at a house have insurance for the business. So only after a couple of months, 3-4 months, I knew that I have to grow. I leased the shop. I I had a full professional setup, so I had staff. So now it's going compared to the starting. In your early times starting the business, you'll feel low that you haven't felt in your life. You sometimes regret your decisions.
Right.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Most some days you'll be feeling like that's the worst decision I've ever made. But you don't have to let those thoughts win. It's just for a day, it's just for hours. you know get up, grow up again, try again. If you're stuck somewhere, try again. So that's what I felt like. You keep growing, keep learning. So for everybody that's new, try harder.
Actually, I was about to come to that question. There are always setbacks and doubts. Was there ever a moment when you felt like giving up, and how did you push through it?
Let's say if you have a job that you normally don't do. Let's say it's something very specific. A lot of times, in the starting, let's say. So when you learn something, learn a skill, you're not perfect at it. You only learned it. You are perfect at it when you practice, when you get more experience. So those are the days when you feel the worst. You had a job in the starting and you couldn't get it done. That's the worst feeling in the world. Having a business and you can't get some job done. So that's worst. But those days, you will learn from them too. They'll push they'll push you harder, that you know get more hands on that work, like do more practice, more experience. But I remember my days when I was struggling doing raps. So that phase I'm already gone through. So if you're starting new, there's you're gonna lose. You're gonna learn from that. So you'll win one day.
Yeah.
So it takes time. Be patient, consistency. If you go to a gym, everybody says if you work out a day or two a week, that's not gonna do much. But if you work only 30 minutes every single day, that's consistency, right?
Right.
That's gonna do a lot. Same thing in every phase of life.
Right.
If you're doing a business, you have to be consistent. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Consistency is the key.
yeah.
Let's come to big boy creation. Big boy creation is another side of your journey. This time in your music production, what inspired you to step into that space, and how does it connect to your personal passion and culture?
Again, I am a lyricist.
Okay.
So it is hard to provide your lyrics to a good singer. So, you can't reach out to a well known singer if you're, even if you're a good lyricist, it's very hard. So initially we tried. So we had a plan. One of our friends is a singer, one's a video director.
Mhm.
So we had everybody. We had friends. So we decided to make our own production, that we do music videos, you know, lyrics and everything in one place. So in Sudbury, we have everything.
Okay.
So we didn't want to go to a big music channel because, nobody would agree to a new singer. They would want you to sign with them. Let's say it's very common practice in music industry that if you have to get signed with someone. Let's say you have to be with them for 2 years. So we wanted to start something on our own. So we started our own channel. So, as I said, we already had a team. So that was our plan. We have did only one song. Second song is on the way somewhere next week.
Okay.
So this project is still growing,
Yeah.
but we have plans for this too.
Mhm.
So this will be on a bigger scale too.
Okay, beautiful. All the best for that as well. Okay. And this is the most important part of our conversation, I must say. Many newcomers dream of starting a business, but worry about money, hesitate to take risks because they feel the timing isn't perfect or the resources aren't enough. So, what advice do you have for starting a business with minimal budget or choosing the right first investment?
So average person's age when they come to study in Canada is 18 years. They come after high school.
Mm.
80 to 90% of the students come after high school. Only, let's say, 20% after, college or university.
Right.
So at the age of 21 or 22, depends on your school or university, you'll be graduated.
Mm.
So you're very young. So even if you save money, let's say, do a good job, make some money, save money for 2 years. 24 or 25 years age is nothing. That's when you can take the risk.
Mm.
You have no family, you have no burden on you. Most of us don't have house in that age. You don't have to pay mortgages, nothing.
Mm.
Again, not same scenario for everyone. Sometimes you have to take care of your family back home or things like that. But mostly people just spend their money on themselves, or they're too scared to invest the money. Sometimes people have the money but they don't want to risk it. Business is all about risk, 100%. Even if you have $10 or you have $10 million, it's all about risk. So that is the age when you can take the risk. Now, talking about, let's say, when you're 35 years old, you have a family, you have a house. Can you quit a job? No.
Mhm.
You have a 3-4 thousand mortgage to pay. You cannot quit a job,
Never.
and your business needs you full time. So that is the age when you can invest in a business, not money wise, both time and money wise. Business needs more time than money. So, like choosing a business, if we talk about, again, choose a business that's more like labor. So don't invest a lot of money in the starting. See what you're getting through the business. Let's say, I mean, if you have the money, spend it. If you have $1 million, like start with a bigger project. Here we are talking about people who are 23 years age. Nobody will have $1 million at 23 unless they have their heritage money, like Silver Spoon. They'll only have that. But if you want to grow on your own, start something smaller and then see how much money you're getting. So the best thing is, I think, if you make, as an example, if you make $100 from your business after the expenses, profit, $100 profit, only take 50 to your home. Invest that 50 back in your business, even if you're only making $100. So that's the best advice I can give you. That's what I think. That's what I do. So like even if you're making $100 in the starting, if you're growing, invest half of your money in back to your business. Then it's gonna grow 100%. And especially if you work hard. So there's no time. Sometimes you have to stay up all night working. You can't complain. You know, people always say I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24 hours. That is also a part of the business. Now sometimes you have like most of the time, let's say a job you have to start at 7, 8, 9. Sometimes you feel like I can start at 1 p.m. You have staff. Yeah, you want to go 1 p.m. today. You can, but mostly you will have to work hard on your business. So pick something that's uh, good for your pocket initially. So learn a skill, sell a skill. Don't invest so much in the starting years.
In the initial phase.
Yeah.
Whatever business you are doing, in initial phase,
Exactly.
think and spend or invest.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the other side, community seems to be at the heart of what you do. Supporting local events, concerts, cultural programs, whatever, community activities is being organized in Sudbury and around. Why is giving back to community is so important to you?
Uh, I think community is so for the businesses, community is the one who's gonna support you. So people from Sudbury, if you know people, the more people you know, the more business you will get. If we talk about business,
Business, yeah.
here for the newcomers, if you talk about business, the more the larger circle you got, the larger customers you'll get, the more number of customers we can say. So but initially I'm very social. Let's say even in my high school, if we are going to a restaurant, we'll go at least 15-20 people. We won't go alone. So that was my nature from, again, some things come from your parents. Same with my dad. So I like to being with the people, especially when they're older than me. I like the company of wise men. Like if you're woman too. So even anybody that's I think smarter than me, even like I would sit with the 50-year-old, 60-year-old person for hours. I would listen to their experience. So that's what you get from the community. You'll see people from every age. I can talk with the example. Let's say we had an event back in June, uh, Kabaddi Cup.
Okay.
So all the federation members, there will be 50, 60, and they're well settled businessmen, multiple businesses. So the things they're gonna educate you about, or they're gonna share their experience, you won't listen to anyone. How someone of my age would tell me that? Never. They haven't experienced it yet. So when you go in the community, you meet people, you grow with them. If a 30-year-old is more successful than me, I will think to be exact same like him. So I love to be connected with the community. So everyone, like all religions, regardless of religions, countries, you learn a lot when you go into different communities.
Absolutely. Community is all about growing together and learning together.
Exactly.
Yeah. And almost at the end, what's your bigger vision for Big Boy Raps, and in addition to that, Big Boy Creations, and for yourself as a community leader?
Uh, if we talk about Big Boy Apps, I am thinking of opening another locations in different cities, more like busier cities.
Okay.
We'll grow up north too. So in upcoming years, we're thinking about opening more locations so we can serve more communities.
So right now, it is in Sudbury.
It is in
Garson.
Garson, Millie Drive.
Okay.
Right now it's here, but we're thinking of opening it in GTA 2.
Okay. What about Big Boy Creation?
Big Boy Creations will do bigger scale music videos and singers. So that's, I mean, we have the talent. My friends are very good singers. So no, I can't say to myself I'm a good lyricist, but I'm okay as a lyricist. But my friends are very good at singing. So that's sometimes a person has a talent, but they need a push. So all our friend circles, they push. So we're gonna get this to a very bigger scale, so we can have this song was very good. We had 160K natural views.
Beautiful.
So we want to make it to very bigger scale. So even community wise, if we talk, we are thinking about these stage shows and Kabaddi Cup. We are thinking about doing it every year.
Wow.
And we are thinking about having more concerts next year, big concerts. So Sudbury will enjoy.
Nice, nice. I wanted to ask, how did you, think up the name Big Boy? What, how you thought of that name?
That was if you I that's just a thought, like wraps, like eating wise wraps, they're for kids. So I one day I was thinking, like, those wraps are for kids. What would be big boys wraps? Like, if you're a big guy, you love cars, so these are big boys, like big guys wraps. So that's why I named it after Big Boy Wraps. So that was the reason.
That was the reason behind Big Boy Raps and Big Boy Creations. Last but not the least, you also mentor and welcome newcomers. What advice do you give to newcomers who are just starting their journey in Canada?
uh, I had help, someone suggesting me throughout my entire career, right? Initially, when I wasn't able to make my own decisions, right? I was very young. So I would suggest everyone to, if you are gonna grow as a businessman, same thing. Save some money, invest that money, take that risk. Don't be afraid. If you need any kind of advice, you can reach out to me or any other businessman. So they'll help you out. I'll help you out 100%. No, somebody helped me out. Let's say if I'm going to buy a car, uh, you know, when I was 19 years old, I wanted to buy a car which was $60,000. Somebody suggested me, don't do it, right? It's not worth it. Enjoy your life. Go on different trips. That's what we do. So the best advice to save money I would give to someone is, if you're making only 2-3 thousand a month, don't buy like $1,000. Don't Your payments doesn't need to be $1,000 a month. That is too much. If you're only making minimum wage, you don't need to buy an expensive car. That is the worst decision you will made. You will be stuck with it for 8 years. That's not gonna do anything for you. I would even say don't buy a house at 23, 24. If you're single, you don't need a house. Rent an apartment. If that 50, 60,000 down payment you're gonna give, that's what your business's initial investment is.
Right.
So you'll make that money from your business again, then buy a house. So do that investment. So that's the time you can take a risk. Again, you can't quit a job after you already have a house.
Right. So thank you so much, Ranveer, almost at the end. And thank you for sharing your journey and your, I know your story, your journey will inspire many who are listening to us right now.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me today as your guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, Ranveer, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And it's an honor to have you on the show. And I'm sure those who are, listening to us right now, they will be motivated. They will learn so much from our conversation. Thank you so much for coming. And this is a small surprise, whatever you call it, surprise, a small gift from Beyond the Borders Season 2 and our creative partner, Isan Arts. This is for you. Thank you so much. Can you please unwrap it and then show us our audience?
Sure. Thank you so much for the gift. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am in conversation with none other than entrepreneur, the founder of Big Boy Raps and Big Boy Creation, none other than Mr. Ranveer Singh. Okay, Ranveer ji,
Oh my God. Very nice.
can you show us, show our audience?
Thank you
Very
so
well.
much. Thank you. It is very nice.
So, what do you want to say?
Really impressed. Thank you to Ishan and thank you to you guys. Looks really nice.
Thank you so much, Ranveer ji,
Thank
for
you. I have no words
so
for that.
nice.
You have just made my day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. With this, we come towards an end of our conversation. You stay tuned to CKLU 96.7. See you next week.